We were at the East Carolina press conference where they just defeated Nevada 17-0 to advance to the national semifinal. The floor is open for questions.
Ben, this might be a softball question, but you guys came out guns a-blazing. Is that a function of having a rematch with Nevada, the national championship?
Yeah, I think they definitely were ready for this game. They've been like that all year, though. Usually we jump out early, and tonight we just had what we needed to. All the hits were just stringing together, and 2-out hits, 2 strike hits, every kind of hits that we could get, we got them.
Coach, in our last interview, you talked a little bit about situational hitting. Is that something you addressed with the team, or did you just kind of let it naturally take its course?
Oh, yeah, we talk about that all the time. That's one thing that we preach, and we talked about it a lot after the first game, and they definitely answered.
Ryan Norris, Call Club Sports Radio. This question is for you, Ben. You and I had an interview during the game in the middle of the 6th, and I asked you point blank how much longer you thought Hatteras would go, knowing that Hatteras had a no-hitter heading into the 7th. Were you planning to stick with that decision, or did it make it a lot easier that they got a hit in the top of the 7th inning?
Well, it made it easier, but I was definitely going to stick with that decision. Me and Hatteras talked about it, and he made it clear that he wasn't worried about the no-hitter. He was looking forward to being able to throw again. And we were trying to keep him under 100 pitches because we know, with his arm, 100 pitches, 4 days rest, he'll be good to go.
Spencer, your home run in the first was a big jumping point. Tell me how it felt. Were you looking for a pitch on the outside?
Coach puts a lot of pressure on us to hunt fastballs, and, I got that first one. I'm not going to lie, I didn't think I got all of it, but when I looked up, I think I knew it was going.
Hatteras, great game, 7 innings pitched, 3 hits, no runs, 9 strikeouts. Talk about your approach coming in tonight. Did you have a game plan against certain hitters, or how did you approach their lineup?
Well, first and foremost, I'm extremely blessed to have the hitters that we have on this team to put up the runs. It's a lot easier to pitch, and your approach changes when you get up by a lot of runs like that. But my approach is always the same. It's always just go out there and throw strikes. Let the batters get themselves out. I'm a statistics guy, and a batter will get himself out 70% of the time, the best hitter in the world. So my approach is just to throw fastballs, throw strikes as much as I can, and see where it takes me. Defense played great, and the hitters made it a lot easier.
Hatteras, this question is for you. There was an exchange there in about the 5th of the 6th inning between you and Honorado, where Honorado was on first, and you guys went back and forth a couple of times throwing over. And I know there's been some chippiness between these two teams. Talk to me about that exchange and what you thought happened there.
So I'm kind of like a no quarter, take no prisoners kind of guy. I don't really like to be friendly on the field. And I felt like he was trying to embarrass me or put me down or get in my head. And what he doesn't realize is that I feed off energy like that. And so when I kept throwing the ball back over, all I kept seeing was one of their players diving back on the ground time and time again. All I'm doing is throwing the ball. That's wasting his energy. There was no really mental reason of why I went after him like that. It was just because I was making him work more than he should have. And it paid off. I mean, he was tired on second, and it paid off.
Coach, so you have 2 games under your belt, 2 shutouts, and only 1 error in each of those games. Could you talk about the pitching staff and your defensive philosophy, playing great defense behind them?
I mean, our pitching staff has been great for 3+ years now. Tanner and Hatteras have both. They do what they're supposed to do. They go out there, they pound the strike zone, they make hitters get themselves out, and, led by Walker Gaddis in the infield, I mean, our defense is phenomenal, and it has been all year. We've played great defense, time and time again, and we preached that all week, that it was going to be about defense and hitting the baseball, and that's what happened today.
Coach, the benefit of a lopsided victory like this is you got to empty the bench and get a lot of guys some playing time, some World Series experience that'll reap benefits in the futures of this tournament or their careers. Does it take some pressure off you to to feel like you don't have to force some guys some playing time later in the tournament in a game that possibly isn't as locked down?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, all of my guys, 1 through 34 through the red shirts work really hard, and they deserve some playing time in this big stage. I don't never have to get on people about effort ever, and I've been blessed about that. So they work really hard at practice, and they deserve this time just like everybody else does.
17-0. How do you keep from being overconfident?
My guys are hungry. I don't think any win would be big enough for them not to be overconfident. They have the mindset that, they're here for a reason, and I didn't even have to say it after the game that, that's not what we came here for. We came here, to be here Thursday.
Spencer, this question is for you. You guys now head to the national semifinals. Talk to me about what this means to you personally, and then from a team perspective, how are you guys motivated to stay prepared even though you got the day off and you'll be coming in on Tuesday fresh and ready to go, and you're waiting for that opponent to come to you?
Well, from a personal standpoint, we're just, like Coach said, we're all hungry. This was a big win, but it's behind us now. So for me, I didn't get to play out there with these boys last year, so I was really excited to get my chance to show them that I could help out. And from a team standpoint, I think we're all ready. You don't see anything negative in the dugout. We're all keeping each other up, and I don't know if anyone's going to beat our lineup.
Any further questions? All right, that's it. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you, guys.